Define and describe for all culture. First one is empathize strict adherence to procedure, not trying new idea unless it approved by manager. Second is clear hierarchical structure, stick into hierarchy workforce. Number three is employee rarely share idea, lack of encouragement to speak up. And then number four is top-down communication. Employee feel the idea are not capable enough. And then for define and describe new culture, first one is organized, more dynamic, more unique idea to compete on global market. Number two is innovative, more unique idea to compete on global market. And then lastly, team-oriented workplace, produce higher creativity from different skill or working. That's all.
Moving on to the slide 5, we need to look at the why behind our evolution. Organizational change at Novatech isn't happening in a vacuum. It is a necessary response to three specific eternal pressure: the nature of our workforce, the acceleration of technology, and the intensity of global competition. So the first point is nature of the workforce. First, let's look at who is doing the work. We are seeing a significant shift in workforce demographics. This include increased cultural diversity, which bring new perspective but also requires more inclusive management. So we are navigating an aging population. As experienced team members prepare for retirement, we must adapt our process to ensure knowledge transfer and accommodate a multi-general office. Next point is technology. Second, and perhaps most obvious for a company like ours, is technology. The barrier to entry is lowering because computing power is become faster, cheaper, and more mobile. With the ubiquity of handheld device, work is no longer tied to a desk. To remain relevant, Novatech must integrate these mobile-first technologies into our core workflow to stay agile. Lastly, competition. We are no longer just competing with the shop down the street. We are up against global competitors who operate in different time zones and cost structures. We are also seeing a trend of mergers and consolidation in our industry. When our competitors join force, they gain more resources, which means we have to change and innovate just to keep our market share. That's all for me.
I would like to present the demonstrate ways to transmit the new culture in Novatech. Novatech can transmit the new organizational culture by using these four methods. For the first one is stories, second one ritual, the third one material symbols, and the fourth one is language. These ways can help employees understand the company new direction, which is more innovative, open, and team-oriented. For the first one is stories. Management can share success stories about employees who accepted change and perform well. For example, stories about workers who learn the new digital automation system and help improve production. They can also share stories about teams from different departments working to solve problems. These stories will inspire to others follow the same attitude and accept the new culture. Secondly is ritual. Novatech can create new rituals that support teamwork and innovation. For example, weekly team meetings where employees can share ideas, monthly appreciation session for high performers, or innovation day where staff present improvements. When these activities are repeated often, employees will slowly see that collaboration and creativity are now important values in the company. For the third one is material symbol. Material symbol show employees what the company values. Novatech can redesign office space into open work areas to encourage communication between departments. Managers can use the same workspace style as employees to reduce hierarchy barriers. Providing modern laptops, digital system, and collaborative meetings room also sends a clear message that the company now values technology, flexibility, and teamwork. For the last one is language. Novatech can use the new words or phrases that reflect the new culture. For example, using terms like teamwork, innovation, continuous improvement, open communication, and customer focus. Managers should always use this word during meetings, emails, and training sessions. When employees hear this term regularly, they will better understand that values the company want to build.
Now I will explain about resistance to change in Novatech manufacturing Sendirian Berhad. There are two sources of resistance, which are individual sources and organizational sources. First is habit. Employees at Novatech already used to traditional working style and strict procedure for many years. When the company introduced new technology and flexible working, employees feel difficult to change their usual way of working. They prefer to continue using old system because they feel comfortable. Because of this habit, employees resist the change and slow down the transformation process. Next is security. Senior employees feel not secure because they worry cannot adapt with digital automation system. They also afraid the new changes may affect their job performance. Due to this reason, they prefer to stay with the old working system rather than learning new technology. For organizational sources is group inertia. Some employees still prefer work style is old and do not want to accept the new changes. They also influence other employees to follow them. Because of this, many employees resist the change together and make difficult for the company to implement the transformation. Lastly is threat to establish power relationship. Some managers feel uncomfortable with participative leadership because employees are now more involved in decision making. This makes managers feel their authority become less. As a result, some managers resist the change and prefer the old leadership style. In conclusion, employees at Novatech resist to change because of habit, security, group influence, and threat to managers' authority. These factors make transformation difficult and slow down the company's performance improvement.
For the first tactic, which is education and communication, this is important because many employees and Novatech did not fully understand the changes, especially the new technologies. So, management need to clearly explain the purpose of the change and how it will benefit both the company and the employees. When employees understand what is happening, they will feel less confused and less afraid. In addition, open communication, such as face-to-face discussion, allows employees to ask questions and express their concern. This helps reduce misunderstanding and build trust. Next is participation and involvement. In Novatech, employees were used to a top-down approach where they just follow instruction. Because of this, they may feel disconnected from the change. So, involving employees in decision making and allowing them to share ideas can make a big difference. When employees feel that their opinion matters, they are more likely to accept and support the change. This also helps create a sense of ownership and teamwork within the organization. Lastly, facilitation and support are very important. Some employees, especially senior staff, found it difficult to adapt to new systems and technologies. To help them, the company should provide proper training, mentoring, and continuous support. This allows employees to build their skills and confidence. At the same time, emotional support is also important because change can be stressful. When employees feel supported, they will be more comfortable and willing to adapt. In conclusion, Novatech change was necessary but not fully successful due to employee resistance and lack of preparation. To improve, the company must focus on managing people through better communication, involvement, and support. Ultimately, successful change depends on how well employees adapt to it.